a long way. Came a long way from the sip. Living on the edge, I never slip. Strippers in my bed to the flip. Trying to get that bread at the money clip. All the young, what I represent. Yo, guys, we getting started soon. I hope y'all let your people know to hop on the call. Listen, this is a T exclusive. I want to see some videos as well. I'm only seeing Anika. Shouts to Anika, you know. Shouts to Nigeria Anika. P1000 loading. Shouts to Kalena. Shouts to Kai. Hey, Harsh. I'm seeing you guys. Ride like a rich, shine like a rich. Ride, turn down, hey. Ride, turn top down like a rich. Wishing that somebody say, hey. Oh, we turning up. 58 on the call. I feel like we can make this 100. I feel like we can make this one 100. We can't make work with our stress. In the strip club, what's really going down in the A? Alright, I'm ready for the next song. Oh, you know what? This song gets me gassed, man. I'm on some Ray Straight mode vibes right now. We gonna get started soon. We turning up. Make sure everyone's admitted. Can I make any more calls so you guys can admit people as well? Right, it's not working. Hey. Know some young, like to swear. Know some young, like to swear. Hey, yo, y'all gonna turn up to this one, yo. Hey. Know some young, like to swear. Know some young, like to swear. Yeah, man. Hey. Yo. Wanna hold man, shawty pray. When the money talks, what is there to say? Blow away, watch it blow away. When I die, can't take it to the grave. Hop on, drop, you're talking, I need it right now. Hey, yo, listen, let's make sure we're going back to the groups. Letting every single person know that it is about to absolutely go down. I hit that high note, man. Ouch. I don't think I hit it, but if you want to say I hit it, you can say I hit it. I wouldn't say I hit it, but we just turning up, man. We got one more space. Who's gonna get a last space? Who's gonna get a last space, yo? We literally maxed out. We maxed out. We maxed out at 9 p.m. I feel sorry for anyone that was late, bro. Nah, I'm joking, man. It's not maxed out at 100, man. Come on now. Yo, let your people know. Let your people know it's about to go down. I'm elite. Hey, you know what? I'm liking this track. Yo, make sure you listen to the lyrics, right? The lyrics on this one, cold. Don't know why she keep calling, but she want to see me falling. And they say I wasn't worth for your time. Wagwan now. Night like some misconduct. Man, oh yeah, that's how we came up. And I'm running to the money, but there ain't no way the money ever gonna make me change up. I can never tolerate the fake love. Just imagine when the fame comes. They didn't love us at the start. When we finally take off, they be complaining that we changed up. I can never let it entertain us. I might struggle, but you never hear I gave up. When your team's unique and your actions speak, you don't even have to say much. I'm busy trying to get it with the peers. Heard it can't be done because they're living out of fear. Try using the asset that they have between the ears. Nothing came easy, man. It's taken us some years. All the L's that we took, I was holding back the tears. Yo, you might deep in the lyrics? Are you deep in the... Man, we gonna get started after this song. And they say I wasn't worth for your time, but it's funny how you can put your rules in. Like, it's not my buzz. But funny story though, his name's actually Shay as well. The dreams how we get up in the morning. Check facts where the opposite is stalling. I don't care how fast, if I'm on the right path, even if they said I'm crawling. Great energy and sayings I'm absorbing. Cause I chase money. Oh boy. Yo, imagine if we maxed out 100. Everyone that wasn't early would have been crying right now, bro. Want to see you talking. You smile in your face, put a knife to your back. Stick to your stomach when they know you're on track. Cool you tired. Cool in the dark if the swings ain't crack. You do the things that you believe in. Chase money, but they wouldn't. Find what you love, try and monetize. Every day, got the feeling of it. We started in like a minute, bro. There's like a minute of the song left. Let's let every single person know. It's about to go down. We're maxing out. We're maxing out 150, bro. We're 5 away. We might be 5 away from maxing out. If you got someone. Okay. We got like one more space. But, I'm joking. There's more. Don't worry, man. Don't worry, we got y'all. We got y'all. But with that being said, man, we're about to get started, man. I don't want to waste another moment of you guys' time. Obviously, we was turning up. How's everyone feeling though, man? How's everyone feeling? Let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat right now. It's crazy to see that we literally had 100 people on a call bang on 9 p.m. That's what we like, man. That's honestly what we like. Shout out to you guys. You guys are here because you guys are ready to really elevate your trading. You guys are ready. I'm blessed. Shout out to Zaina. Thank you for asking. All right. But yeah, you guys are really ready to elevate, man. You guys are really ready to learn a strategy on the Harmonic scanner that is really going to be able to help you. Before we even start, I'm interested to know, just so that I kind of have a perspective of the way that I should maybe explain things, right? Let me know how long you've been in the business for, right? Let me know how long you've been in the business for, right? I'm seeing 1 week. Shout out to Olaf. I know Olaf, you've already been using this strategy, right? I know you've been hitting TPs with this strategy. All right, 4 months, 1 week. Oh, I can't even read these. They're coming too fast. 2 years, 3 weeks, 1 month, 5 months, 2 years. Let's go. Almost 2 years, 4 weeks. Let's see. You know what? If anyone has just got started in the business within the past 30 days, right? If anyone has just got started within Traders Empire within the past 30 days, well, I need to admit there's people waiting. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat, right? Please just go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. If you started in this business within the past 30 days, wow, I'm seeing P600s put in once. I'm seeing P600s just popped in less than a month. Shouts to you. Okay, I'm seeing quite a few ones, you know. Yo, guys, let's make sure that we make sure everyone feels welcome to the team, right? We Traders Empire, we move as a family. Let's go ahead and drop some welcomes in the chat for all the new members, everyone that's got started within the past month, and let people know that I'm probably going to stop admitting people within the next couple of minutes because it's kind of distracting me, and it's not letting me make anyone co-host. So just let people know that if they're late, it might be a bit awkward because they might just be waiting on the link for a while, man. But listen, welcome every single person. As I said today, thank you, Alice, for offering to be co-host and Amro as well. But it's not letting me make anyone co-host, and I need to be host because I'm going to need to share my screen, right? But with that being said, man, shout outs to everyone. Let's elevate. I'm going to kind of go straight into the trainer just to introduce myself. My name is Shay. I actually got started in this business a few years ago. Shout outs to Yasin, who actually introduced me to the whole industry of Traders Empire, of IMS, Academy, and stuff like that. But I'll be real, I'm not really here to speak about myself. I'm really here to show you guys the source, right? The Harmonic scanner is something that throughout my years of being in the industry, I was kind of sleeping on. I'll be real. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I heard a couple of strategies, maybe with this indicator or that indicator and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I just wasn't really feeling it for whatever reason. For me personally, I know a lot of people have been using the Harmonic scanner for a while, but me, it took me a while to even look at it, right? And then I recently, I've just been realizing, like, there's so many scanners. There's so much source that we have access to on a day-to-day basis that we're not actually utilizing. Right? There's so many. There's the Harmonic scanner. There's this scanner. There's that scanner. There's this product. There's this product. And I'm like, whoa! People are making money with all of these. People are making money with all of these different scanners and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I need to maybe learn a little bit about a couple more. I start looking at the Harmonic scanner and I'm like, whoa! I learned a strategy from one of my multi-millionaire mentors in the industry, right? C100, Rico Shmoney, shout out to him, right? And he's someone that's been utilizing the Harmonic scanner for years and years and years, educating hundreds of people on it for years and years and years. And he taught me some source. And the source that he taught me is I'm not gonna lie, I started applying it, started making sense. You know what I'm saying? I showed a few people in the squad after applying it for a bit of time. Now they're starting to hit TPs, and I still show some more people in the squad. They're starting to hit TPs. Listen, if you're in the squad and you hit TPs with the strategy already, just drop some TP. Just drop TPs in the chat. I'm not sure how many people are on the call that already hit TPs in the strategy. Right? I'm seeing TPs, y'all. That's exactly what we like to see. So understand that the strategy I'm about to show you guys is a strategy that, honestly, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna allow it to go to 200. Right after it hits 200, I'm not joking. I'm not admitting anyone. So if you have anyone that wants to still get on, there's 10 spaces left. It doesn't max out at 200, but I'm just gonna stop admitting people. So hopefully you guys don't hop off or anything like that as well. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the source. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and just take you guys through it, man. If you guys are ready for the source, go ahead and drop a 1 as well. Go ahead and just drop a 1 in the chat. So first and foremost, right? First and foremost, okay, cool. Yo, this is definitely chat. Right, cool. Let's admit a few people. Let's admit a few people. All right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop the share for a moment. We're gonna let 7 more people join. We're gonna allow 7 more people to join and experience the source, right? Because I'm not gonna admit people. After I share my screen, I'm not admitting people anymore. Right, so I'm gonna give you guys maybe 60 seconds or so. If there's anyone that you're like, you know what, this person needs to be on there, send it to them directly, right? Of course, we're going to the groups. Let's blow up the groups, but also I actually encourage every single person to send this to one of your friends, right? It's not just about, oh, this person's in my team or da-da-da-da. Listen, understand that we've been Traders Empire, it's a family, right? Send it to someone that you know in the team, right? It doesn't even matter if they're in Traders Empire, I'll be real, but just send it to someone. Send it to someone that is in the business, though. You have to be, if you want to send it to someone that's not in the business, you can, right? And just let them know, yo, in order to get access to this, you need to get a Harmonic scanner. But look, let's share the source. We got 1 more space, and I'm about to get started. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of my water. Boom. All right, I see the last person's here. Say no more. We're about to get started. I'm not admitting anyone else. Oh, I see. This person was on the call earlier, so I'm gonna admit them. Now we started, man. So welcome to the call, every single person. Congratulations for being on. I'm actually going to lock the room as well because I don't want any distraction, man. I want to really be able to focus on helping every single person. How do I lock the room? Security. The room is now locked. The room is now locked, man. Y'all locked in. Y'all locked in. Y'all locked in. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and open Harmonic Scanner. I'm gonna be explaining different ways that you can utilize the strategy as well, by the way, guys. There are different ways. You can use it on a very basic way, right? You can use it on a very basic way, a very simple way, right? Which is obviously not going to be as profitable. However, you know what I'm saying, maybe for the newest person, it's going to be the most efficient way. But I'm also going to be showing a way that you can, you know what I'm saying, you can use it to catch some higher risk rewards. I'm going to be going through a few different ways of utilizing this one specific trading style. I'm not sure how long this call is going to be, but listen, I just want to make sure that everyone is eating in the whole of the Traders Empire family, right? So first and foremost, what you're going to do is you're going to go into harmonix.io, right? Alternatively, you can go into ion.center and you can go ahead and navigate to strategies and you can go ahead and click on the Harmonic scanner if that's what you're looking to do, right? Hopefully you guys do know how to do that. If you don't, please hit up your direct sponsor and ask them how to go ahead and execute that. But the Harmonic scanner, for someone that doesn't actually know what the Harmonic scanner is, before I speak about the specific strategy, I want to make sure that regardless of how new you are, you're able to understand this to a certain level, right? The Harmonic scanner, understand this, right? In the markets are going up and down, up and down, up and down. But what do we also recognize? There's certain things in the market that we call patterns, right? There's patterns. It's the whole concept that history kind of repeats itself, especially in the markets, right? There's going to be certain things that happen in the market and it happens again and again and again, whether that's a support and resistance, whether that's an imbalanced fill, whatever kind of strategy, there's certain patterns that kind of happen again and again and again. And harmonics is one type of pattern that can happen. And this is actually a pretty high accuracy pattern that you can use in the market to kind of help you understand where the market's likely to go next. Now, it's not telling you, okay, cool, 100% the market's going to go up or 100% the market's going to go down, but they are a powerful tool, right, to help you with your analysis. But understand this, right? You might be hearing about the Harmonic scanner. This is a harmonic, by the way. You see this butterfly kind of thing here, kind of a wonky butterfly. Hopefully, we don't have any butterflies looking at that because they've been injured, right? But we see we got some kind of butterfly or something, right? Ultimately, this is the harmonic pattern. But you might look at this and be like, oh, but how do I know when there's a harmonic pattern? Like, how can I mark my own chart up, right, and make it actually look like this? How can I mark my own chart up and actually put the harmonic on so I can see this myself? And the Harmonic scanner, what it does is it actually scans that for you, right? So you might see something like this, and I'm going to explain how to know whether it's a buy or a sell. I'm going to explain how to know whether you want to enter or not. But again, I'm starting with the very, very basic, right? And the very basics is the fact that this is a form of artificial intelligence, right? See this as your personal assistant in the market that can guide you along the process, right? That can guide you along the way, step by step, and say, you know what? Here, hold my hand. I'm actually going to take you through this journey, and I'm going to support you with your trades, right? Let me go ahead and explain how to know whether the Harmonic scanner is suggesting that you're looking for a buy or a sell. There are different ways of explaining this that you may have heard. The way that I personally like to explain it is the fact that, okay, the D, right? The D is going to be where the harmonic has just been called, right? So wherever the D is, that's where the harmonic has just been called, right? So for example, right here, okay, the D's up here, this is where the harmonic was cool. In fact, I'll speak about this later, but I believe they're currently doing some kind of updates, and the D sometimes has been kind of off. This was actually cool around here, right? But wherever the D was cool, right, you're going to look for where the TP is, right, after the D. Because the basic concept of trading is what? We buy when we expect the market to go up, and we sell when we expect the market to go down, right? So if that's the case, our take profit is where we're taking our profit. So if our take profit is below the D, which is again where the trade was called, then that means that we want to enter a sell because we're expecting the market to go down, right? If our take profit is above the D, so we got the D here again. As I said, I'm going to explain this a little bit later, but I think there is there are some updates going on with the Harmonic scanner, and it keeps kind of being wonky. But check this out, right? The D is right here. The take profit is above the entry price. What does that mean? We're looking for a buy. Therefore, yeah, we're going to go ahead and enter a buy if the confirmation is me. If that makes sense in terms of understanding whether you're looking for a buy or a sell, just go ahead and please drop a 1 in the chat for me. All right, drop a 1 in the chat for me real quick. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I am seeing the ones coming through. Shout out to all 200 people on the call, 196 or whatever it is right now. All right, but with that being said, let's start to look a little bit more specific at the strategy. Okay, you can see that we've got the entry price, we've got stop loss, and we've got take profit. And yeah, cool. Some people might trade just by looking at this and just putting the entry price and putting the stop loss and putting the take profit. But I'll be real, the Harmonic scanner is less so a signal provider, the way that I see it. It's less so a signal provider, and it's more so, as I said, a personal assistant, right? The way that I always like to describe this is, let's say, for example, I don't know, you're driving, right? This is the way I always like to explain it. You're driving, right? You're looking in the mirrors. You're about to make a reverse, right? You're about to start reversing, right? You look in one of the mirrors, right? You're not just gonna start reversing, right? You might, you know what I'm saying? You might run over someone's cat. You might run over someone's dog. You might run over whatever, right? Mario knows about the cats, right? You got to be careful with the cats when you're driving, yo. So if that's the case, what do you want to do? We want to look probably for like 4 different mirrors. Probably gonna look this mirror, that mirror, that mirror. We're gonna look at a few different mirrors just to make sure that there's nothing behind us. Same thing when it comes down to the trade. Look, the Harmonic scanner is, you know, it really counts as a couple mirrors. I'll be real. Like even just the fact that the Harmonic is there counts as a good few mirrors. However, right, it's not, you haven't made that final check, right? So the strategy that I'm going to show you is going to be able to help you make that final check. So with that being said, let's go ahead and set the strategy up first before we speak about how to use it. First and foremost, you see this RSI right here? We don't need it. You can have it if you want to just add stuff to your chart, but we don't need it for this specific strategy, right? For this specific strategy, guess what? Yo, let me ask you guys, how many indicators do you think that we need for the strategy? And just for the sake of it, just for fun, right? Please, I'm almost asking me to let no one back in. What, guys? Shall I let more people in? Yes or no? Yes or no? Shall I let more people in? Yes or no? Yo, Kieran said no. I can't lie. Kieran said no. That's my mental. So, but many people say, I say no more. I'm gonna let some people in. Let people in. You know, I'm opening the meeting room now, but I'm not gonna pay attention to too much. The reason being is because I want to focus on the people that are on the call rather than the people that were late. I want to respect everyone's time that's here, rather than me getting distracted a lot of the times. But I am gonna open the room real quick to let a few people in. I'll leave it open for a little bit. It is open right now, so you guys can invite people that you want to invite on, right? But with that being said, I'm gonna close it soon. But how many indicators, right? Oh, whoops! Oh, I loaded this up. But how many indicators do you guys think? Kieran, it's not letting me make people co-host. But how many indicators do you think this strategy needs? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20. You know, you see the strategy right here, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. This is actually one of the strategies that I've been learning about on the Harmonic scanner. This has like, bro, I don't even know how many indicators this is. When I was learning about it, yo, the sell probably took like a good half an hour. Literally, there's like 12 indicators on this specific one strategy. But guess what? And that's not a bad thing, by the way. You can have loads of indicators as long as it's providing you profitability, right? But ultimately, right, with this specific strategy, we only need one, right? We actually only need one, right? One indicator. And I'm going to show you how you can utilize it to your advantage. I'm just going to leave the chat room open. Leave the room open, sorry. So the indicator that we need is something that we call a Supertrend, right? It's called the Supertrend. In fact, sometimes my mentor, Rico, he likes to call it the Shmoney trend, right? Because he's known as Rico Shmoney. But let's call it the Supertrend, right? So this is the Supertrend. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to indicators. And we're going to add something called the Supertrend. You might be asking, you might be new, and you're like, oh, what's the indicator though? Right? Yo, an indicator, the way that I see it, this is the way I describe it. It's the fact that an indicator is something that scans what the candlesticks are giving you. It scans the information that is given to you in the market, and it gives you it gives you an interpretation of what's likely to happen next, right? It gives you an interpretation of what's likely to happen next. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But again, we can exit the RSI, right? And then all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, right? And we're going to edit the settings of the Supertrend as well, right? I'll be real. The admitting people is distracting me. I'm going to lock the room again. Oh, well, one more person made it. Shout out to Saliha. Welcome. Anyways, boom, right? We're going to come over here. We're actually going to go to the settings, right? And on the settings, we're actually going to change the length to 1. And we're going to change the factor to 1 also, right? We're going to change the length to 1, and we're going to change the factor to 1 also, right? And then on the style, we're also, and by the way, make sure you guys change the settings, because some of the people are saying to me, oh, yo, I can't see the arrows. And I'm like, yo, what's your setting? They're like, oh, it's so like 10. Bro, you're not going to get setups with that one. Right, I'll be real. Right, so change it to 1-1. And then for the style is more so for your own viewing purposes, right? However, what I like to do is I like to actually change this arrow, right, to, I like to change it to a triangle, right? So you know how it says arrow up? I'm going to change it to triangle up. Why? Because sometimes the arrow up doesn't actually come up unless you zoom in properly. You won't actually see it. But the arrow will actually be clear. So you can change that to triangle down, obviously for the down arrow. The other thing I also like to do is I like to go ahead and actually make this, for sure. Therefore, screenshot, right? I actually like to turn the opacity up to 100%. And also, personally, I like to change the color of the green, just so a nice, you know what I'm saying, nice bright green. This isn't essential. This is what I like to do. And I also like to reduce the thickness to the thinner one. A lot of people do like the thicker one, but yeah, I don't know. I like things to be a little bit neater. I like things to be a little bit neater. So that's the color for that one. All right, the color for this one, again, I don't really like this red. It looks kind of dirty. It just looks like, I don't know, it looks like a dirty red, right? Probably has a technical name, but doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and select over here this specific red right here. Right, this specific red, and we're going to again make the opacity 100%. If you don't know what opacity means, opacity is the opposite of transparency. So if the opacity is on 100%, you can't see through it. So it's going to be very, very clear for you to be able to see. Right, and then again, the up arrow, I'm just going to turn the opacity to 100% again. Right, if you guys missed any of this, let me know as well. But boom, 100%. Right, that's it. That's all of the settings that you need. But guess what we're also going to do? We're going to save the settings. So you guys can go ahead and save it, right? Obviously, I've got it saved already, but you can save it and just save it as Supertrend, right? Just save it as Supertrend, right? So what you're going to be able to do after you save it, the reason I say save it is because sometimes you might actually get logged out of the Harmonic account, sometimes randomly, or sometimes you might just want to go back in and you don't want to have to put all of that in again. Even though it's only one indicator, what you can now do is you can press load chart layer, and now you can just come up to it, right? So for example, Supertrend, boom. I actually added the EMA, but don't worry about the EMA. It's just a bonus thing that I like to do. Right? I just deleted that for now. All right, so what we're actually going to do, hopefully that makes sense. If you guys got the settings, go ahead and please drop a 2 in the chat box for me, right? Drop a 2 in the chat box for me if you do have the setting, right? If you do have the setting. So I'm seeing the 2s, I'm seeing the 2s, I'm seeing the 2s. And please, guys, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Can I show again? For sure. All right, so here are the settings. I'll let you guys screenshot it this time. Length 1, factor 1, the EMA. All right, towards the end of the call, ask me that question again, and I'll speak about it. Because it's not, you don't need it for the strategy. It's just a little bonus thing that I'll be doing. But ask me at the end of the call and I'll go through it. Style, right? So that's the inputs. The style, here's the style. Again, you're just making the colors 100% opacity, and you're making it green and red. This is important. You'll change the arrows. Make sure you change the arrows to triangles, because otherwise you won't really see it. The code is kind of being recorded, but I don't know if I'm going to post it. I kind of just recorded it because someone asked me to, so I said I'm going to send it to them. But I don't know. I might. If enough people need it or whatever. But I feel like you guys are on the call, so you should be able to catch it. But if you guys want me to release the recording, I will. I'll just put it unlisted on YouTube so that you guys can share it, whoever you feel needs to see it. But with that being said, ADJPY. So I'm going to just point something out, what I was saying earlier. You see how I moved this harmonic? The reason I moved it is because, what is that noise? Am I the only one that heard that? Oh, some people are unmuted. I was tripping. I was like, what is going on? But anyways, right? Sometimes you're going to see, and this isn't normal. I've only seen this happen this week, right? But when the harmonic scanner trade is called out, it'll be like hair or something. But when you're looking back at it, it might be like kind of hair. It's kind of shifted a little bit. So I understand that when this was called out, it was here. And I think that's why, I don't know if you guys noticed, but earlier on a few hours ago, the Harmonic scanner was actually down for a little bit. I believe they're actually working on this bug fix, right? But what I'm going to do, as I'm showing you guys these examples, I'm going to show you where the Harmonic actually was when it was called out, all right? Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. But check this out. Understand that when we're looking at a Harmonic scanner, right? I don't know if you guys can relate if you used the Harmonic scanner before, but sometimes you might be on the 50-minute time frame, and you maybe go to enter a trade, it just keeps going down, keeps going down, keeps going down. One thing that I personally observed when I was looking at the Harmonic scanner is the ones that I was seeing go to stop loss, for the most part, they kind of just went straight there. Like they didn't kind of start coming back up, right? In fact, like for example here, it just kept going down, kept going down, kept going down and hit the stop loss, right? In other words, the momentum didn't shift. The momentum didn't start going to the upwards direction. Like maybe sometimes I'll be looking at things like, and by the way, as a disclaimer, I'm not like, those are different strategies work on a Harmonic scanner. But personally for me, sometimes I'll be looking at RSI and stochastics, and I didn't understand how to use the RSI and stochastics properly. And when I was doing that, I was just seeing that the market was going down and it was oversold or whatever. And I would maybe buy and it would keep going down. Like if maybe you've experienced that, please just go ahead and drop a 3 in the chat, because it will just keep going down, keep going down. That's not necessarily a fault of the RSI and stochastics, but for the most part, most people don't really understand how to use RSI and stochastics properly. I kind of learned a bit more about it in HFX, but on that basic thing, think about it this way, just to kind of clear this out. Let's say the market's oversold, right? You'll figure, cool, it's going to go up, but it's not necessarily the case. What it's really telling you is that, yo, there's heavy momentum to the downside. Yeah, cool, it's gonna reverse at some point, but if it hasn't given you that indication to reverse, if you haven't seen the momentum shift, it's a weaker confirmation, right? It's a weak confirmation. That's what I found for myself. So when I was looking at this Supertrend strategy, what I realized is that, oh, the difference here is that we're not just saying, oh, the market's been going down, right? We're actually waiting for the market to shift. We're waiting for the market to shift in the right direction. We're waiting for the momentum, more specifically, to shift. And that's the way that I like to explain what the Supertrend does. The Supertrend shows you when the momentum has started to shift, right? The Supertrend shows you when the momentum has in fact started to shift. So what we're actually going to do, rather than just entering the trade straight away, right, we're going to wait for the market to actually shift and start going up. How do we know that? It's by looking at the arrow, right? You see this arrow right here? That's what we call an up arrow, evidently, right? It's green, it's going up, you know it's going up. So remember, for example, right here, we see that the Harmonic was formed here, and we see that the take profit is above. So are we looking for a buy or are we looking for a sell? Let me know. Are we looking for a buy or are we looking for a sell? Right? Are we looking for a buy or are we looking for a sell? I'm seeing buy, 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 perfect. Right? And please, as I'm asking these questions, please make sure you guys are answering as well, because the reason I'm asking isn't just for fun. I'm actually asking because I want to make sure that everyone's understanding. If there's even one person that doesn't understand and gets a different answer, I'll make sure I explain it in a more efficient way, right? But check this out. We're looking for a buy. What we're now waiting for again is for that momentum to shift. So once we see the up arrow, by the way, I opened the room for anyone that wants to let anyone know that kind of fell off. Look, but when we see the up arrow, that's what we're going to go ahead and explain. Thank you, Fatima. I appreciate it, right? When we see the up arrow, that's when we're going to go ahead and look to enter the trade, right? So example, the up arrow, it formed, right? And just so you understand, because I know sometimes you hear people, you might hear traders on indicators and stuff like that, and sometimes it's like, it's a lot of, oh yeah, if this, but it's like, I don't know, it doesn't kind of look like that in the real markets. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes with the indicators, like, oh, it doesn't actually look like that when I'm actually seeing it on the chart. With the Supertrend, let me explain how to really utilize it properly. You want to wait for the candle to close, right? You want to wait for the candle to close. Because understand that sometimes you might get an up arrow here, you might get an up arrow here, you might get an up arrow here, right? But the candle might not close. And if the candle doesn't close, then the up arrow won't necessarily stay there. However, if the up arrow actually closes, if the up candle actually closes, sorry, right, and an arrow is formed, the candle will stay there, the arrow will stay there. So you can kind of look back and know that, okay, cool, this was a valid trade to enter, right? So again, the simple way, as I said, I'm going to explain different ways that you can utilize this. I'm going to explain the basic way, and I'm going to explain a slightly more advanced way. That, you know what I'm saying? Different people can choose what kind of style you want to utilize. But check this out. We see this right here. Now we're going to go ahead and enter for the buy, right, dude? And what my mentor actually says, he actually says, yo, you want to be on that TP1 diet. He says that he's on that TP1 diet. So he likes to personally just go for TP1, right? He likes to personally just go for TP1, which is cool. You can do that, especially if you're a new trader. You can definitely just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Just flow to TP1. Just literally go straight for it, right? And in terms of stop loss, that's what people be asking. Okay, cool. Before I speak about stop loss, by the way, please just drop a 4 in the chat if that is making sense. You want to wait for the up arrow and you want to wait for the candle to actually close. Right? Drop a 4 if that is indeed making sense. Perfect, 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 perfect. So the next thing is this, right? How do we go ahead and determine our stop loss? Right? How do we go ahead and determine our stop loss? So again, there are different ways you can do this. I'm going to break down different ways. I'm going to tell you what I personally like to do, but I'm also going to break down a simpler way. I'm just going to give you guys all the sauce, right? So you guys can decide what kind of sauce you want to apply. You know what I'm saying? If you like the ketchup, if you like ketchup, please hop off the call. If you're the kind of person that eats ketchup in Nando's, please hop off the call. I don't agree with that, right? However, right, when I'm talking barbecue sauce, I'm talking peri-peri sauce. I'm going to give you guys all the sauce. You guys can decide which sauce you like, right? But my thing is, why are you going to Nando's to get, it doesn't make, to get ketchup, bro? Like, there's peri-peri sauce. You guys are funny. But check it out, right? Check it out. So here's one sauce. This is the ketchup. What I'm about to show you right now is the ketchup, right? So for those of you guys that like your ketchup in Nando's, cool, you guys can do this, right? But check it out. What you can do is you can just use a stop loss that the Harmonic scanner gives you. As you can see, the risk to reward isn't necessarily always the best. Sometimes you can, like, don't get twisted. Sometimes you can still get a good risk to reward by doing this. But for the most part, on a consistency level, right, your risk to reward isn't going to be as good. Right? And if you guys are brand new, you might not understand what I mean by risk to reward. That's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I would say if you're brand new, make sure you're trying this on a demo account as well. And just start entering. Just literally enter, go for TP1, put your stop loss down there. The good thing about it is that it's going to be very consistent anyway. You see right there, that ketchup. So you can see how you got like a 59 pip stop loss, right, for an 11 pip take profit. If you guys don't understand this tool, right, all I've done is I've come over to here. There's something called a long position tool, and there's something called a short position tool, right? The long position is what you're going to put for a buy. The short position is what you're going to look for a sell, right? So when we've got the long position, it's literally going to show you, boom, this is the stop loss, this is the take profit, right? And it will tell you how many pips stop loss is. You're going to divide whatever you see here by 10. That's going to give you how many pips of stop loss and the take profit is, right? That HFX. This is that HFX trade when, like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what kind of currency pairs be paid out that low. Like, you must be crazy to be entering that. But anyways, again, if you're brand new, you can enter. Don't get twisted. I know people that do enter like that and they're making money consistently, which is fine. However, I'm going to show you guys how I like to tailor it, right? So here's one way, right? Here's one way. This is like the basic way again. Right? What you can do is you can just enter, you know what I'm saying, like at that point, and you can just put a stop loss just below. And again, this is a slightly more advanced concept. You might understand it, you might not, right? But I put it just below where it rejected the most recently. I see you guys talking about barbecue. Yeah, this one right here, I'll say this one right here was like, this can be like the barbecue. This can be like the barbecue sauce. You know what I'm saying? This is about the barbecue. The barbecue is cool. It's not the best. Like, it's cool, but it's still kind of average. You know what I'm saying? But you can still eat your food with it. You can still get what you want out of barbecue sauce. You get the flavors, right? So we're gonna put our stop loss just a little bit below the most recent rejection. What do I mean by that? When the momentum shifted, so for example here, the momentum shifted, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if the momentum has shifted, the market shouldn't really come back down below this point, right? In my head, that's what I think, right? So if it does come below that point, then it means that it wasn't really a real momentum shift, right? If that makes sense so far, please go ahead and drop a 5 in the chat. Right? Please go ahead and drop a 5 in the chat. But you can see even here, it's like the risk to reward on this specific trade. And different, by the way, different trades are going to give you different risk to rewards. The risk to reward on this specific trade, you know what I'm saying, it's still not the best, right? It's still not the best. Obviously, understand that the one thing that I would say though, is when your stop loss is down here, you're going to hit stop loss less. Yeah, the stop loss is larger, but you're going to hit stop loss less. If your stop loss is closer, you're going to hit stop loss a bit more, but your risk to reward is going to be a bit better, right? On a basic level. So again, let's look at this. The third way, so hopefully that makes sense. Again, you guys can just, again, this is TP1 diet, and I'm going to speak about different ways of this. Hopefully I don't confuse you guys. I want to make sure you guys are understanding for it. But the third way of really just entering, right, and this is all assuming the TP1, is what I like to do. This is what I'll tell you what I personally like to do, right? Is it has to be at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward. At least for TP1 has to be at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Go through how the pips work. Honestly, I would love to, but this call would be like very, very. I've got like a whole. I'll go through on a basic level of how you can just use it on the Harmonic scanner, and hopefully that kind of gives you what you need. Right? Hopefully that gives you what you need. So basically, right, you see right here, there's two ways you can calculate the pips, right? You can use the ruler tool, which is right here, and you can literally just take it from wherever you're looking to enter to wherever your stop loss is. Do it like that, and on the Harmonic scanner, you're going to divide it by 10, right? I appreciate you, Fang, right? You're going to divide it by 10. So now you can see that it's 20.4 pips, right? Or the TP, right? You can see that the TP, we're going to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to divide it by 10 again, right? So we go right here, bring it up. You see that, okay, cool, it's like 11 pips or so. So again, it's 115, but we're going to divide it by 10 on the Harmonic scanner. Not necessarily on all platforms, but on the Harmonic scanner, that is what you're going to do, right? If that makes sense, Kai, let me know. And then with the position tool, again, long position is a buy, short position is a sell. The green area, right, is obviously your take profit zone. And you can see, cool, the take profit zone is 124, which is divided by 10, 12.4 pips. Right, the stop loss, 205 divided by 10, 20.5 pips. Hopefully that does make sense. The pips are however, you know what I'm saying. Okay, no worries. Hopefully that does make sense for everybody. If that does, please go ahead and drop a, just say it makes sense in the chat. Say it makes sense in the chat, right? But with that being said, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the, no, this one isn't the Perry Tamer yet. This one's like, this is the Perry Tamer of going for TP1. And if you don't know about Perry Tamer, I don't know what to say at this point. I'm saying it's a secret sauce to Nando's, right? Make sure you go to Nando's. Make sure you get some hummus, right? You get some Perry Tamer, and then you also get some Perry. You mix it all together. You get the Perry drizzle as well. Mix it up. Oh boy. But anyway, check this out. Right? This is that Perry Tamer. What I'm like is, as I said, I'm looking for a one-to-one. Does that mean that I'm not entering this trade? Not necessarily. Yeah, cool. The stop loss is down here and stuff. We're putting it just under. By the way, I put it a little bit below here because remember, there's a concept called support and resistance in the market. Regardless of what people may or may think, support and resistance is a lot of the times respected from what I see. So sometimes the market can come down and it can just respect this support area, right? It can just respect and come up. So you want to make sure there's a little bit of room just below the width. I'll put it like 1 or 2 pips or so, right? 1 or 2 pips or so. But anyway, check this out. We can see that the TP, the risk to reward is less than 1-to-1. Where do you see the risk to reward? It says 0.58. Right? That means that we're risking, for example, £1 to only make 58p back, which isn't necessarily ideal. It's not the most ideal. So what I would do is I would say, cool, you know what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for it to come down. If it doesn't come down, I'll dismiss the trade, it's fine. I'm gonna wait for it to come down to a point where my risk to reward is gonna be a 1-to-1. Boom. There's a 1-to-1 right there, right? So I'll wait. I might even set a pending order, right? So I might set a pending order and say, okay, cool. As soon as the market comes down to this level, that's when I'm going to enter for the bank, right? So we're waiting for the pullback. Understand that, there's a whole concept of breaking retest, right? There's a whole concept of waiting for that retest, right? You see a big push, the market is likely to, you know what I'm saying, come back a little bit. It can't just keep going up all the time, right? If you're doing institutional, you know that, okay, cool, there's a certain imbalance that needs to be cleared. There's all different ways that you can see it, right? But just understand that, the market's going to pull back a little bit. So I'll wait for that entry, right? Again, I'm going through different levels of source. Right? Again, if you guys want to keep it basic, you can just do the first thing. If you want to add a little bit more sauce to it, I'm just giving you all the sauce that I personally like to apply on this specific strategy. Right? But if that's making sense so far, please, guys, let's go ahead and drop a 5 in the chat. Drop a 5 in the chat for me real quick, please. All right. I'm seeing the 5s and seeing the 5s and seeing the 5s. So now, right, let's go to another example. Right, let's go to another example. And as I said, TP1 that, let me break down the, what sauce would this be called? I don't know what this sauce would be called. This is like the sauce where it's like, it's past, it's beyond. Let me know what sauce is better than Perry Tamer sauce. For anyone that's tried Perry Tamer, let me know which sauce is better than Perry Tamer, right? So we wait for the little arrow to form and then wait for the candles to close. Yes. All right, Franks. I've never had that. Someone said ketchup. How do you remove someone from the Zoom? No, I'm joking still. Homemade sauce, relish, sweet chili. Yeah, sweet chili's banging. Sweet chili's banging. Yeah, you know what? I don't know, man. But let's just say this is the next level sauce. Man said, Raj, you must have lost your mind, boy. What on earth? Do people actually eat that? Like, do people actually seriously? Anyways, right? This is the next level sauce. What I like to personally do, you know what? I'm going to go over this later. I don't want to confuse you guys too much. But now we're going to speak about TP1. Right? For those of you guys that stay to the end of the call, I'm going to tell you guys how, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I'll be catching some high risk rewards with this specific, same exact strategy, right? But anyways, for now, let's continue. I'm going to go through all of the examples on here so we can make sure, switch to spicy low. I'm going to go through all the examples here so we can go ahead and make sure, that we are indeed understanding every single thing, right? So as you guys can see, obviously there was a relatively high, I'll come back to that example later, actually. I'll leave that there. I'll come back to that example later, right? But let's go on, for example, okay, cool, USD CAD. And let's go ahead and delete this, right? USD CAD. So again, guys, I'm pointing out something. I'm moving the Harmonic scanner. You wouldn't normally do this, and you wouldn't normally do this when, you know what I'm saying, when the market's up. But it's like, for some reason, when you're looking at older trades, the Harmonic is a little bit shifted, right? And the reason I'm moving it is because I'm showing you how it should look when you're actually looking at the market. So for example, this trade, when I was looking at it, let me show you how it looks, right? It was something like this. The reason I'm moving it is because you're waiting for the arrow to form after the D, right? You're waiting for the arrow to form after the D. So if you're thinking, oh, the Harmonic scan's over here, you can kind of tell, man, like if it's not attached to any candle, then there's obviously some kind of glitch. It's supposed to be attached to a candle, right? So again, it was formed around about here. What we do? First and foremost, guys, let me know, buy or sell. Are we looking for a buy or are we looking for a sell? Right? Are we looking for a buy or are we looking for a sell? I'm seeing buy, 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 I'm seeing buy. Perfect, 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 right? TP is about entry, exactly. You guys got it, man. You guys got it. So check this out. What do we see? The market came down. It came up. This was a very sweet trade. I know a few people caught this. I don't know if there's anyone on the call that actually caught this trade that knows about the strategy already. If you did, just please write in the chat, I caught this. Just write in the chat, I caught this. Sheesh, shout out Zayda. I'm saying, I see you. Shout out family. Oh, family, you caught this already? Oh, check it out. Shout out Kai. Hey, Kai, what's up? I didn't even know you caught this on, bro. My guy. Well, yo, I'm seeing a few people caught it. Shout out to you guys, right? But check out. We're waiting for the up arrow. The up arrow forms. What we are going to do? We're now going to go ahead and enter TP1 direct. So for example, you got a £100 account, you want to use basic risk management, you can use a 0.01 per 100. There are obviously more advanced ways of utilizing risk management, but for today's purpose of the call, for anyone that's brand new and just want to utilize the strategy, put a 0.01 lot size in to your MT4, and you can go ahead and just take it to TP1 if you got a £100 account, right? Stop loss. Again, you can go ahead and put your stop loss down here. You can go ahead and put your stop loss down here. That's perfectly fine, right? Jeez. You can go ahead and put your take profit at TP1. Right? So you can see here, from this specific trade, this one's cool. As a brand new trader, as a beginner, you could have easily caught this, you know I'm saying, caught a little 30 plus pips, right? You see 33 pips or so, nice. Made a little $3 or so, maybe with a 0.01, maybe a little $30 or so, maybe with, you know I'm saying, a 0.1, right? Depending on your trade. But let me show you guys something. Again, that's the first basic way. And again, by the way, I know I'm saying it's the basic way. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's not a bad thing. I'm just showing you different ways so you can decide for yourself. Do I want to use the basic way? Do I want to use the more advanced way? I just want to go in detail, man. I want to make sure everyone's here. All right. So you guys can decide what you want to do. But check out. Here's what I would like to do. I would like to actually move my stop loss to just below that rejection. Why? You know the vibes, man. Reese, you already know the vibes. Right? And I know you're a sniper in the market, Reese. I know you're a sniper in the market. But check this out. Remember, this is my philosophy around it. Right? The momentum has now shifted. So if the momentum has shifted, it shouldn't really be going back below this, right? And if it does, then it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. That's the way that I see it in my head. So I'm gonna put my stop loss here, right? Again, you don't want to put it too tight. Sometimes you'll get caught out, right? But you can. Personally, I'll be real. Sometimes I put it too tight and I get caught out and I just re-enter because I just don't really mind too much, right? But if you want to give yourself a little bit of room, just put it there. Right? Just put it there. But personally, I'll be real. If I see this, I'll just show you exactly where I would put it. I'll put it like here. I'll put it like that, right? And then guess what? We're going for TP1. What's the risk reward on this? You can see just from an arrow in the Harmonic scatter, you got a nice little 1 to 4. Your stop loss is literally less than 8 pips. Right? Boom! You already know the vibes, man. Boom! Right? TP, nice little 30 pips or so. But understand that, for those of you guys who don't really understand the risk to reward concept, realize that let's say you're risking 3% on this specific trade, you just made around about 12%. Right? Understand that it's very saucy. And that's for TP1. It did go to TP1, right? And I'll speak about other TPs maybe later on for anyone that stays on the call. But check this out. Let's go to the next one, right? And hopefully that did make sense. Again, for this specific one, I wouldn't wait for a re-entry. I wouldn't wait for it to come down. Why? Because the risk to reward is already 1 to 4. For TP1, I'm personally happy with that. Now I'm saying I'm personally fine with that. Even if it was a 1 to 1, I'm personally, I'm saying so sometimes I might still wait for a pullback, but I'm saying I'm fine with it. I don't mind entering, right? I don't need to wait for it. And you can see that there was no pullback there, right? Is that live trading or just training? This specifically is a training. If there's a setup, then like if we see a live setup, then for sure, why not? Let's see. Wait, let me just check that chat. I noticed that one. Definitely using these switches. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's look at the next currency. NZD/USD. Right? NZD/USD. So with NZD/USD, right? Let's go ahead and just delete some of this stuff because I've just saved this from all the trades and stuff, right? But you can see, yo, you can see that the risk towards that being caught. Let me just leave that out just for example's sake. You guys can see that, yo, you be catching some nice risk towards with this, guys. This is a nice little 1 to 4. I'm saying over a few days or so. But check it out. Again, you can see the D. I'm not sure why this happening. I've only seen this happening this week. Haven't seen it happen before. But for the past couple of days, it's been like this, where you look at old trade and it looks like this. But it doesn't look like this when the trade is actually active, right? So how long are you staying in the trades? Honestly, until it hits TP. Oh, on average. Okay, cool. On average, if you're going for TP1, probably a couple of hours or so. To be honest, probably a couple of hours. It does depend on the currency though. So for example, if it's a slow moving pair, it might be a bit longer. But if it's a GBP pair, it's probably going to be a bit faster. It also depends on how many pips you're there for. But it doesn't really, I don't know. I don't really look at how long it takes because it's like you're kind of just leaving it. You're kind of setting it and forgetting it. You're going about your day. So it's not really like, oh, how long is it taking? Because you're not really watching it like that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, in case you're wondering why there's 2 harmonics here, it's simply because what I like to do and what I recommend as well, when you enter a trade, you put the position tool on there, right? And then you save it again, right? You save it. What that's going to do, that's going to save your markups. But then sometimes when you go back to the currency again, oh, someone's joining the screen. That's lit, man. That's lit. We appreciate you for joining on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that real quick. How do I delete it? Disable annotations for others. But how do I clear it? I'm going to check. Actually, oh, here we go. Annotate. I got it. Now, you know, someone probably did it by accident, man. It's all good. Clear it. All right, perfect. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and make sure everyone's muted. Also, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for unmuting yourself. Oh, I'm on the annotate. Now I'm joining the screen. Forgive me. I'm tripping. Let's go ahead and exit this. Let's go ahead and come over here. Make sure I was muted. Perfect. So, with that being said, apologies for the confusion, right? But as I said, sometimes you're going to see that it might have 2 harmonics, right? And I'm going to explain this also. I'm going to explain this in a moment, right? What we're going to do is if you see something like this or you see multiple TPs and stuff, just literally just delete it, go into a different currency, and then come back to it. And then it'll be refreshed as default, right? So, let's go ahead and look at this. Right, I definitely recommend going for TP1 when you're first using the strategy. Over time, you might do the thing that I'm going to show you guys later, but it's up to you. All right. So check it out. The Harmonic was called around about here. Again, what are we waiting for? First and foremost, is this a buy or a sell? Let me know, guys. Is this a buy or a sell? Got a sell. We got sell. Jeez. I'm seeing y'all for real. That's what I like to see. All right, so check it out. What are we waiting for? Let me ask you guys, what are we waiting for before entering this trade? Right? Are we going to enter straight away or what? Like, what are we waiting for? Let me know. Let me know what we're waiting for. Red candle to close. Okay, candle closure. What else? We are waiting for the candle closure. That is absolutely correct. What else are we waiting for? Shift momentum, arrow. Exactly. The arrow, the triangle, the shift momentum, all these are right. We're waiting for the arrow. The arrow is telling us that the momentum is starting to shift, right? So, where do we get the arrow? We got the arrow right here. So what does that mean? That means that right here, we can go ahead and enter the trade. Boom. Go for a short position. Remember, sell is short position, so we're going to use this position tool. And you can literally go ahead on a basic level, go for the TP, right? Find the stop loss. By the way, if you can't see the stop loss on the screen and you want to use the stop loss that the Harmonic scanner gives you, right? Just come over to here and you can literally swipe up or swipe down. Right, you can swipe up or swipe down. So let's come over to here. What would the risk toward in this one be? We would have caught, normally you're going to catch just under a 1-to-1 by using the Harmonic scanner stop loss, maybe like 0.8, 0.9. And again, here you got a 0.8. So risking $1 would have made like 8, well, what would that be? 80p, right? 80p or so, right? Or risking 10 would have made like 8. Risking 1,000 would have made like 800. On the side note, guys, I just got to tell you guys this. For those of you guys that don't know, man, I saw one of our educators, right? I'm digressing, but it just came to my head. I just got to share the source. But this was inspiring to me, man. I know you might, you know what I'm saying, we might be having maybe a few hundred accounts right now, or a few thousand accounts, or a few tens of thousands accounts. I want everyone to know that, yo, like, the accounts are going to grow over time. Right? One of our educators, I literally saw it in front of my face. He made, actually, no, guess some, no, but if you've seen it, don't guess in the chat. right? If you've seen it, don't guess on the chat. But I want you guys to guess how much I saw my mentor make in 30 seconds. I just guess. And don't be spoiling if you've seen it, yo. Don't be spoiling. I'm gonna kick you off the chat. Bro. Do you use sell, balance, or market execution? So market execution for this, right? And I'll use a pending order if I'm waiting for it to be a 1-to-1 risk to reward, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm seeing some 15K. Now I'm saying 500K. Ooh, 500K in 30 seconds. Yeah. 100K. Yo, he made 2 million in 30 seconds, bro. 2 million, bro. In 30, literally. And when I say 30 seconds, I'm not just saying 30 seconds to say it. And let me tell you what happened, right? Man. Hopefully this isn't wasting you guys' time, but I feel like it's valuable information. I know it's not about the Harmonic scanner, but it's about one of our educators, right? He was literally on his balcony. Showing the views and stuff like that, right? Imagine his laptop is inside the room. He goes to the laptop. There was one laptop, there weren't multiple laptops. He goes to the laptop, right? The trading app was open. He sits there for legit, no exaggeration, a maximum of 30 seconds. And he just presses a button. He enters the trade. 30 seconds later, the trade closes. And he made 2 million. So I'm just saying, guys, like, it's time for us to think bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be making a couple pennies, a couple pounds now, but realize, man, over time, it is going to make sense. You might have people that are saying this, saying that. Don't worry about them, man. Don't worry about them. Some people, literally just on his balcony, man. He just came, and the funniest thing about it was how casual he was. He was just like, and he was like, oh yeah, I did it. And he was just chilled. But anyway, let's go back to the Harmonic scanner. All right, 2 million, man. It's 30 seconds, bro. And I'm saying that because I want every single person in the school to understand like where we're going. Right? The fact that he started at some point not even understanding what he was seeing on the chart. You might be new, you might be in the business for a while. He didn't understand things, right? But now I think it's safe to say he understands things a little bit. I think it's safe to say. And a wonderful thing about it as well is that he's helped other people make multiple millions as well. He's helped other people make multiple 6 figures. That's what I love about this industry, man. But check this out. Let's go back here, right? You can put the stop loss up there, or alternatively, go ahead and move your stop loss down. Remember, we're going to put it a little bit above the most recent rejection, right? I don't know how to say that in technical terms, I'll be real. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but it's just the most recent rejection, you know what I'm saying? You just see it rejected off of something there, right? It's come down. So I'm like, cool, it's likely to not kind of come back up again, right? And if it comes back up above this, then it's a bit, it's probably not going to keep going. So I'll put my stop loss somewhere around here. Again, if you want to give it a bit more room, you can put it up there. But I like to put it here. And one thing I'll say, by the way, guys, is understand this. I don't know if anyone can relate that's used the Harmonic scanner before, but when I was first looking at the Harmonic scanner, I was looking at it and I was seeing that a lot of the times the Harmonic scanner would shift. Like, for example, it'll be here, and then it'll be here. So I've entered the trade here, and it's gone up here, and it's like, oh no, here's the entry now. I was thinking, what? And this was when I was new to the business as well, and I was thinking, right, this is some kind of scam. Like, I was thinking, right, like, it's just that they're just shifting the Harmonic scanner. I was thinking, someone's literally there, sitting there, just moving the Harmonic scanner so that it looks like it's hitting TPs. That's what I was thinking. I don't know if anyone's seen that happen before, but that's what I was thinking. But then I started to understand. Right? It took me a while to even understand. It wasn't even, I stopped. I wasn't even using it because I was like, yo, that stuff don't work. I know people are making money there apparently, but that stuff don't work. But then what I realized is the fact that the Harmonic scanner actually gives you multiple opportunities to enter. Right? And I'll definitely answer that question to my brokers as well, right? The Harmonic scanner actually gives you multiple opportunities to enter. Reason being because, okay, this setup might have not been ideal. Right? But then it's artificial intelligence. No one's just shifting this or anything, right? But it's artificial intelligence. And sometimes this actually helps me a lot. Because what will happen, especially, understand this, guys, if you are going to use this, you know what I'm saying, more tailored stop loss, you're going to put your stop loss like this, you're going to hit stop loss a few times, right? Because you might have had an entry down here, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, for example, you had an entry down here, right? But then up here, you get another entry. Like, I don't mind, right? That's why, look, if you want to use this kind of tailored stop loss and stuff, it takes a certain kind of mentality because you need to be willing to hit stop losses a few times. Because you need to understand that, okay, I might hit stop loss a few times, but I catch a 1 to 3 risk reward and I hit 2 stop losses, I'm still in profit. Right? I catch a 1 to 5 risk reward and I hit 3 stop losses, I'm still in profit, right? That's kind of really what you want to be able to understand. And I'm definitely going to ask that question about brokers, Morgan. But understand that, guys. Yo, you'd be surprised. Yo, sometimes I hit stop loss a good few times, right? But then the TP, it just overpowers it. It's because I tailor it. Because the market still goes in the right direction. So people that put their stop loss up there, you're not going to hit stop loss as much, but you're just going to be making less from the trades. I would rather hit stop loss a bit more, but make a lot more money from the trade. Now I'm saying, if that makes sense to you guys, please just go ahead and drop a, what number we on? What was the last number I said? I think we're on 6. Go ahead and drop a 6 in the chat for me real quick, please, right? So check it out. In this specific case, for example, you got a nice little just under a 1 to 3, right? Just under a 1 to 3. Depending on what you put, so if you put it there, maybe a 1 to 2, whatever. But personally, I'm putting it just about here, right? So around about a 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 was toward from TP1. So you caught that, right? And you understood how to catch it as well. Imagine, by the way, guys, understand this, right? Let me give you guys the bonus sauce, right? Let me just give you that bonus sauce. I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm just gonna give you all the secret sauce, man. Everyone gotta eat. Everyone gotta eat. For anyone that wants it, is there a Telegram chat? There actually is. There actually is a Telegram chat that calls Harmonic kind of trades out. Yeah, I'll try and remember to send it after the course stuff to the groups. But I don't know. I wouldn't rely on it because it doesn't call every single trade. That's the only thing. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. But that's what I'm saying. Because I was using it at first, but it was like there was quite a few that was missing, and sometimes it would call one and it wasn't. It was kind of weird. I'll be real. But with that being said, guys, the other thing that you could also do, realize that you might not necessarily see the market right here at this specific time. Right? You might not. Right? This currency, I saw it. I was up at this time. It was 4 a.m. I was up at this time. Cool, I saw it. But let's say, for example, you see it like 15 minutes later or whatever. Just as an example. Right? Or maybe you got up at 6:15 and you saw it up here. Right? I'm giving you guys the bonus source. If you look, what you can do is you can look at it and see, cool, where would I have entered if I entered at the exact entry price? If I entered right after the arrow, right? Where would I? Okay, cool. I would have entered there. So if I entered there, would I still be in a trade right now? If the answer is yes, and you're in the red zone, you can still enter. And guess what? This is I'll be real. This is like the real stuff. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the real stuff. Let's say, for example, you enter like up here or something. This is that KFC gravy. I don't know about that. I can't endorse that. I can't endorse that. But let's say, for example, you did catch it up there. Now your stop loss is only like 5 pips. Some people would be scared. They'll be like, oh, it's coming up to stop loss now. You're really sure you can still go in. Now you got a 1 to 6 risk toward just because you saw the trade a little bit later, right? So understand that. I'm not going to get too much into detail about that. If that does make sense, though, please just drop a 7 in the chat, right? Let's go to another example. Again, I'm not going to go through all these examples. I'm saying, if you guys want to hop off the call at any point, you're more than welcome to. I just want to make sure that anyone that does want to stay on, you guys are getting the source. Right? You guys are getting the real source. And I said I'm going to go through how we maximize the risk toward as well later. But check it out. Again, this trade called around about here. If the trade has already hit stop loss, I'm not entering. Right? Also, on top of that though, if the traders hit take profit already, I'm also not entering. So you see here, it hit already. You know the down arrow was cool here. Even if it did, let's say stop loss was up there, right? Even if it was like this, the down arrow was cool here, but TP had already been hit. So we're not actually entering this one, right? Oh yeah, it went down. Oh, but it went down. But that means you missed the trade. No, you didn't miss anything. Because one thing, my bro Kieran, shouts to Kieran, one thing I really learned from Kieran is he said that the only bad trade that you can take is a trade that goes against your rule set, right? And the only good trade you can take is a trade that, the only good trade you can take is a trade that goes with your rule set. So in other words, if you did enter this and it hit TP, you made money, but it wasn't a good trade. Why? Because it went against your rule set, right? So let's go to the next one. SDJPY. Right, so SDJPY, for example, let's go ahead and clear this. Boom. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna come over here. All right, let me save this so I don't want those. So again, this one again, you can see that this was not called here. It was called a roundabout. It was called actually over here. It's like a roundabout, those kind of things, right? So over here, what are we looking for? Number one, are we looking for a buy or sell? Let me know. Buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell. Yeah, let me know. Sell, 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 sell. Cheers. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. So next thing is this, right? Cool. Obviously, we're looking for the down arrow. We see that the down arrow is there. Is this a valid trade to enter? Yes or no? For the sell. Right here. Right here where my mouse is this a valid trade to enter? Yes or no? I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing no, I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing no, I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing different answers. That's good. That's good. I like when there's different answers because it means that the next thing I'm about to say, is going to be valuable because it means that there's going to be some kind of learning experience for the people that got the other answer, right? So this would actually be a valid trade. And why is that? It's because we had the down arrow. I don't know if you know, maybe you haven't zoomed in enough. We had the down arrow right here, right? So we had the down arrow. TP has not been hit. Exactly. Just to Rizwan, right? TP has not been hit. So we can enter here, and the stop loss can literally be above here, right? Right about above here. Right? If you put it too tight, you can get. You see this? Look at this right here. Oh, my bad. That's just kind of low. Right? See here, right? Sometimes you can put your stop loss too tight. So if you decided to put it just above the wick, you see how you got wicked out right there? Ooh, it's a tricky one. You just about got wicked out, right? See, that's the thing. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You might need to make sure you give it a little bit of room, right? Give it a little bit of room, right? And then you go for TP1. Let me show you guys the basic way of entering first stop loss. And let me check the chat box whilst I'm doing this also. What if you enter, but then pull out because the blue candle after you enter closes above the previous enter? Sorry, the previous candle. So in that kind of situation, I understand that I'm not looking to exit the trade early, right? Unless like the only time I'm really, maybe if it's like about to be the weekend, I don't want to leave the trade open over the weekend. Sometimes I still do. But let's say it's like, oh, I've just entered or something and it's around about the entry, I might just close it. But just because, for example, let's say you see how we got the down arrow right here, right? We got the down arrow, right? Just because this was an up candle and we even had an up arrow, that doesn't mean I'm gonna you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get out of the trade. In fact, if anything, I might enter the trade again. I probably shouldn't say that, but I might enter the trade again. You know what I'm saying? As long as my risk management is intact, right? Because now I'm like, okay, so you know what? This is giving me a nice entry. But that's a whole topic for another day. That's some next level source. You know what I'm saying? That's some next level source. I'm not gonna talk about that too much right now. But you see how it comes down to TP? Boom, TP1 here, right? TP1 here. You might have got stopped out of this one if your stop was a little bit too tight, right? But hopefully that. Damn, son. Appreciate y'all. How long have I been muted for? Anyways, if you hit stop loss, you want to re-enter when the next down arrow actually forms, right? That's what I let's do. So let's say, for example, I'm doing my stop loss down here, and I can see if this stop loss is hit, then I'm not entering again. So 40 minutes. if this stop loss is hit, then I'm not re-entering again, right? Unless the harmonic shifts. That's why I said sometimes the harmonic scanner will still give you another sell. It will shift it and it will readjust, right? So again, I'm going to put stop loss above here, CP there. If stop loss is hit, let's say I hit stop loss like there or something, and I see it over here and I see that there's a down arrow, then I might go ahead and re-enter right here, right? Then I'm going to put a stop loss above the most recent rejection. Boom. It's at least a 1-to-1, so I'm happy with that. If that makes sense, please go ahead and drop a 7 in the chat. All right, let's go for another example. I'm going to go through all these examples just to make sure that everything's clear for you guys. You guys can keep it simple, just enter after the green arrow, but there are some circumstances where you can kind of get caught if you don't understand these bonus stuff that I'm going through, right? So check this out. Next thing is this. JPY, right? It's called around about here, waiting for the up arrow. My question is this, guys. So we had the up arrow right here. With this specific trade, would this have been valid to enter? Let me make sure I'm zooming in. Would this have been valid to enter? Obviously, I can see that everyone's knowing when it's a buy or when it's a sell. Right? I'm seeing no. Exactly. I'm seeing some answers yes as well. That's amazing. I'd love to see it. Right? The answer is in fact no. Why? Look, technically the take profit hadn't been hit yet. Right? So technically you could have squeezed a little something there. But yo, if you want to look at your risk reward, what that would have been right there, yo, you must have lost your mind. You entered right here, right? Your TP is here. You're going for TP1. Right? Your risk, yo, this is gonna be hilarious, man. It's gonna be hilarious. So risk to reward. Even if you put a tight stop loss, even if you put a stop loss like here, your risk to reward is like 0.04? Are you crazy? That's a shame money strat. Let's go. If you put your stop loss like nah, you know, I'm not even gonna talk about that one. But yeah, if it's too close to the TP, guys, just don't enter the trade. Right? Again, ideally I'm looking for a 1-to-1 for TP1. At least minimum, right? So again, this trade, ooh, see how it logs you out sometimes? That's why you want to make sure that you got it saved. You want to make sure you got it set and saved, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they be doing updates and stuff, which is lit. Let's go ahead and load the chart layout, go over to here. All right, Supertrend. I'm going to delete the EMA as well for you. Oh my gosh, I deleted the EMA when I saved it, but it's fine. I don't know all the time. But check it out. Let's go back. You guys were asking me about the brokers as well. So personally, for me, I mostly like to use FX Choice, Hot Forex, and XM.com. Why? Because these are the regulated brokers that are on the platform. And in my head, it's just like, cool, they're more likely to have accurate pricing. However, you can really use any. You can really use any. The only one that I personally wouldn't use at all is this one and this one. But it's not to say that they're bad brokers, just that I've never heard of them before. I've heard of these others. Oh, and also this one. I've heard of the others, and I've seen people trading with them, so I don't mind using them. But yeah, if I wanted to add more, I'll do FX Choice, Hot Forex, Hugo's Way, JFX, Traders Way, XM.com. Hopefully that makes sense. The ones I personally do, my go-to is FX Choice, and then after FX Choice, if I'm not seeing setups there, I'll go on Hot Forex or XM.com. Hopefully that makes sense. So, let's go ahead. Which one were we on? We were on NZDJPY. Right, cool. I'm going to start going through these examples a little bit more faster now because I feel like you guys are grasping the basic concepts of it. Which one were we actually on? NZDJPY. Did we do this one already? I don't even remember which one we were on. Can you switch brokers? Now you can switch brokers for sure. I logged in with your account. Joker. GU. Thank you. Appreciate it. So do these apply to, yeah, any shit. Doesn't matter if it's the shark, doesn't matter if it's the crab, doesn't matter if it's the bat, any shit, man. So long as you know what I'm saying, you got a nice little risk to reward and stuff. So here, GBP USD. Oh yeah, I already said, so this wouldn't have been an entry. GBP wouldn't have been an entry. GBP USD also wouldn't have been an entry. Why? Because TP1 had indeed already been hit. Any time frame. So yeah, you can use it on any time frame. Ultimately though, it's more so the 50-minute. The 50-minute, because on the 1 hour, this can be useful, but on the 1 hour, it can be a bit delayed. So that by the time the momentum is shifted, it's already, you know what I'm saying, approaching TP. All right, that's why, you know what I'm saying, we like to use the 50-minute time a little bit more. But again, we can see here the TP had already been hit, so we're not entering that one. All right, Euro JPY. Let's go ahead and look over here. All right, again, this would have been over here. You can just tell because it's going to form a roundabout, some kind of candles. You can see for the most part, sometimes it might be like over here or whatever, but you can see that TP1 had already been hit once the green arrow had formed. Right, TP1 had already been hit once the green arrow had been formed. As I said, I'm going to fly through these because I also want to show you guys the kind of relatively more advanced way that I do like to utilize this. Right, I'm just going to delete these, right? So here's another example, Euro NZD, right? So Euro NZD is actually giving an example right now. This trade was called around about here or so. How often do you check to see if an idea is set out? So I really check it like morning time or when I wake up. And when I really normally check it when I wake up, so that might be like late morning to be fair. I also normally check kind of before I'm going to sleep. That's like morning times as well. So you know what I'm saying that London session, New York session, Sydney session, if you want to keep it simple. So London session around about 8 a.m. UK time till around about I don't know what time it ends, right? But just for a few hours, whatever. And then New York session starts at 1 p.m. UK time. So around about those kind of times, I might be checking it. But I don't have an exact time. I just be checking it. I just be, especially in lockdown and stuff, I just be having Harmonic kind of open. And then I might be on calls and stuff, right? And then I'll just look at it. I will look at it while I'm on the call. That's something I love about this. The fact that it doesn't really take London finish at 4 p.m. Thank you very much, right? It doesn't really take, you know what I'm saying, a lot of like, mental energy to be like, oh, is this valid? It's literally that you can be on the phone, green arrow, okay, cool, say them on. Yo, listen, GBP card is looking nice, you know, you're trying to enter, boom. You can even give me up your talking to the signal as well, right? But check this out. Hopefully that didn't make sense. But anyways, we see we've got a green arrow right here. And this is actually an interesting example. This one has been consolidating. I don't really like this one right now too much. However, right, I'm actually in this right now anyways, right? But check it out. We see that we had a green arrow right over here. So this is where it's valid for us to enter, right? Boom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move our stop loss all the way down, if you want to do the basic way, to down here, which is going to be on your NZD, the pips are pretty relatively low, like 60 pips. But even on TP1, it's still good, you know what I'm saying? It's still good like 1-to-1 or so, so you could do that if you wanted to, right? However, again, me personally, I don't mind hitting stop loss a couple of times if it's going to make my risk reward higher. So you might have your stop loss, shout out Zaynab also in the trade. Now, you might have your stop loss like down here. Now I'm saying just a little bit below the most recent rejection where the momentum started to shift, right? And then what you can see is that you still be on this trade right now, right? So let's say, for example, you see a trade like this, right? You see a trade like this. And by the way, the risk reward is 1 to 3, 1 to 3.5. You see a trade like this, right? And you only see it now. You might be like, oh, like, can I enter? Let me know, guys. Do you think that this would be a valid trade to enter around about now? Yes or no? Like, is this valid based on the rule sets? This is valid. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm seeing yes. I'm seeing yes. I'm seeing yeah. I'm seeing yeah. I'm seeing. What else am I seeing? What else am I seeing? I want to see some more answers. I want to make sure. I want to see what people are thinking. I'm seeing yeah. I'm seeing yeah. I'm seeing yeah. Perfect. 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 Yeah, it's valid. It's valid. Obviously, your risk reward is going to be a little bit different now, but realize that if you were in the trade, you would still be in the trade, and you wouldn't be in crazy profit right now. You know what I'm saying? You're up a little bit. How many pips is that? How many pips are you up? Okay, cool. You're up like 4 pips or whatever. But so long as your risk reward is still nice, I would still enter. Put your stop loss like down here, whatever. Go for TP1, right? Around this time, it's not necessarily the most. I want to enter a trade right now. If you want to look at this, I would wait till like 11 p.m. Like the next hour. Because if you look at your chart right now, if you understand about spreads, the spreads are going to be very high. So it's going to mess. It's going to enter you in a higher position you want to enter. It might enter you like up here. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to enter you in an ideal place, right? If you wait till around about 11:30 and enter, have a look and see where it is. More than likely, you might even get a bit more of a pullback. You can still go ahead and enter this specific trade, right? It's a valid trade. Does that mean it's necessarily 100% going to hit TP? No, but it's a valid trade based on the rule set. So it's a good trade in my eyes. Obviously, it's been consolidated, whatever. I don't mind. In fact, I even like it sometimes like that because it just gives me more opportunities to enter, right? If that makes sense, go ahead and drop an 8. Give me an 8 in chat this time, man. I want an 8. I want an 8. Right? So let's go to the next one. You're a cat. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, you see this? See how many lines there are? The reason there's so many lines is because I've said, you see how there's a harmonic here? You know, let's actually look at this one. We've got this older harmonic here. I'm going to delete this after this one, right? You see over here, what do we have? We had an up arrow, right? So you want to enter the trade there. We go for TP. You know what I'm saying? We bring it out. Risk reward, boom, stop loss, just below there, TP. Not really a one-to-one, right? Not really a one-to-one, right? It's just under a one-to-one. So you might have entered, you might have not. Or what do I like to do? What do I say I like to do? If I see something like that, I want to wait for a pullback where it's at least one-to-one. That's what I personally like to do. Just a little addition that I like to do. So I might do this. Right? Boom. Something like that. Now it's a one-to-one. So this is where someone asked earlier, I think it was Stephanie, about buy limits and selling. This is where I'll put a buy limit, right? But for the most part, I prefer to enter market execution. But if I'm just out about or whatever, I just put a buy limit. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does, yes or no. But let's go ahead and go to the most recent example. So I'm going to actually clear this whole chart. And let's go ahead and go back over to here and then come right back over to here. So EuroCAD, EuroCAD. This specific trade, is this valid? Nah. Why? Because the down arrow was formed all the way over. I don't even know what's going on with this kind of. Sometimes you'll see a scrunched up like that. When it's scrunched up like this, and I don't even like it, man. It just doesn't look right. It just looks weird to me. So I'm just like, it's too crunched up. I'm not really vibing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone gives you some crunched up paper, like, yo, I don't really want this. Like, give me a fresh paper, bro. Anyways, next one, GBP AUD. Right, GBP AUD. So GBP AUD again, right? Again. Down arrow here. Is this valid to enter? Yes or no? Let me know. Is this valid to enter? Yes or no? Would this be valid to enter after this down arrow? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm seeing yes. I'm seeing no. I'm seeing no. I'm seeing no. I'm seeing no. I'm seeing yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. So this would actually not be valid. Why? Right? And it's good. Shout out to everyone that's saying different answers because it means that you're really engaging. I mean, I definitely respect it, right? But check it out. You got a down arrow right here. TP1 was hit even before that down arrow was formed, to be honest. So that means it's no longer valid because TP has already been hit. Because even if you're going for higher TPs, some people have said to me, oh, no, it's fine. I'm actually going to enter. I'm just going to go for TP2. But even if you're going for higher TPs, understand this, guys, right? If you're going for like, let's say you're going for higher TPs. Once you hit TP1, you really want to leave your stop loss to break even and make it a risk-free trade. So if you enter like here, right? Or if TP1 has already been hit, realize that everyone else, even if that was a valid trade, they're already risk-free on the trade. So you're risking a trade when you should really be risk-free. I don't know if that makes sense, but just understand if your TP's already been hit, then you don't want to go for it, right? Next one, ADCAD. Again, this was called over here, right? So ADCAD. I don't know if I call this one or not. I don't remember. But anyways, so everyone. Over here, we're looking for a buy. TPs are above the D, right? So now, we're going to go ahead. And by the way, one thing also I'm going to say, You don't necessarily need to wait for the entry price, right? But I'll be real, TP means take profit. So take profit is basically where I say, okay, like when you put that into your MT4, as soon as that price gets hit, it's going to exit you out automatically. So you can be out and about doing your thing, and it's literally just going to exit you out with your profits, right? Stop loss is the opposite. If you're down maybe 3% of your account or 2% or whatever, it's going to take you out automatically at that specific price. But check this out, green arrow. So let's see, I'm seeing this, right? Someone tell me in the chat, what would I personally be looking to do? Again, you can enter this like this if you want to. If you want to keep it very basic and stuff, you can do this if you want. Right? But what would I'll tell you what I personally do, because again, I want to give you guys a source, right? What would I personally do? Let me know. Let me know. Wait for the pullback, right? And I'm seeing don't enter, that's good as well. I'm seeing TUTR, that's good. I love to see different answers, right? Pullback. But what specifically, when I'm looking for a pullback, how am I knowing, you know what I'm saying, like where to enter? How am I knowing where to enter? Let me know. Make sure y'all drinking your water, man. Gotta stay hydrated, man. Gotta stay hydrated. Institutional cancel, shit. You guys talk about the institutional stuff. Nah, it's not even that. You could do that though, for sure. You could do smaller time frame, but yo, I like to keep it simple. I don't always like to look at institutional kind of stuff. You could, and sometimes I do, but hey, yo, I'm just gonna wait. I just want it to be a 1-to-1 risk to reward for TP1 at least, right? So I'm just gonna pull it back till it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and if it doesn't enter, then I don't mind. It's cool. Doesn't matter. Obviously, it's not the most technical of things, but it's cool, man. I don't mind, man. So let's keep things simple sometimes. It's not every day. It's not every day make everything advanced, man. No, I don't have to be like that. It's gonna make money. So I'm gonna just pull it back, get that 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? Bow. And then maybe you're going for the higher take profits, which I'm going to speak about at the moment anyways, right? After I go through these examples, I'm going to speak about how I catch, like, you know what I'm saying? Like some higher risk towards sometimes. But check it out. If that makes sense for you guys, by the way, please just go ahead. We are so advanced. Nah, man, you can utilize, don't get twisted, you can utilize institutional concepts. In fact, I've actually got a training on my YouTube on how you can use the institutional trading with the Harmonic scanner. Message me on Instagram if you want a link at the Rocher. Message me on Instagram, I'll send it to you. It's not a public video, like it's actually unlisted, so I'll send you the link. But anyway, check this out, right? Over here, that's for people that trade institutional. If you don't trade institutional, don't even worry about it. But anyway, check this out. Over here, you know what I'm saying? D might have been there. I don't know exactly. Yeah, this one was probably formed around about here, right? Or it might have been here. But if it was formed here, right? Obviously, it's not valid. Why? Because the down arrow was called before, right? Down arrow was called before, so it's not actually valid. Right? Unless you go for TP1. I'm going to speak about that towards the end, right? But you can definitely, as a new trader, definitely want to go for TP1 because you know what I'm saying? You're going to be kind of in and out. I'll tell you what I personally do in terms of TPs. I'll tell you that towards the end of the call for everyone that stays on for the South, right? So again, AUD, you want it to be after, right? You want it to be after the D, right? I mean, sometimes I do enter if it's just before, if it's just like one candle before, but here, like yo, the market's already all the way down here. It's just not really making too much sense. You know what I'm saying? TP's already pretty much been here, so it's not making that much sense. Let's look at Euro USD. We got one more to look at after this. I'm not going to go through all the brokers and stuff like that. Euro USD, okay, this is a live trade right now. Again, you see how it's weird right now? It's a bit weird, but just know, right? And I'm sure they'll fix this within the next few days or whatever. I've only been seeing this for the past couple of days, as I said. But it's like, if it's like this, no worries. Shout out to Colin. Yo, but anyway, check this out, right? Boom. We're pretty much just gonna move it over to, if I see that, I understand that obviously the market hasn't been there, so the D can't be over there. So I'm just gonna move it to the current price, and I'm just gonna realize that, okay, cool, the D is here. I'm looking for a down arrow. Now I'm saying it's not that specific. So right now, for example, we can be looking for a down arrow. Once we do, you know what I'm saying, get a down arrow, we can go ahead and look for that sell. All right, AUD USD. Boom. So Euro USD is active right now. Euro NZD is active right now also. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see, like, we'll wait. As I said, I would wait for like 11 or so, personally for me. But I'm already in it. So this is what it is, right? But check it out. AUD USD again. You see how it's all scrunched up? You see, sometimes it just glitches a bit. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't even make sense. This isn't even a harmonic pattern. It just slaps on there. This isn't even a harmonic pattern. There's no candles over here. Right? Sometimes that will happen. It's cool. Just ignore it. Right? If that makes sense so far, guys, in terms of how you can really leverage and go for TP1 with this strategy, please go ahead and drop a 9 in the chat. Right? Drop a 9 in the chat. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I personally do as well. I showed you kind of how I enter. I'm going to show you what I do when it comes down to the TPs as well, right? Move the whole pattern, 4 candles to the left. Okay, say no more. Uday said if you move the pattern 4 candles to the left, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, man. You said like sometimes if Uday said sometimes if you see like that, you can move it 4 times to the left. I normally fix it, so it's normally just a glitch, like a display placement glitch. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of how I like to, you know what I'm saying, how I like to utilize it. Charles Elliott. Right, I'm going to show you guys how I actually personally like to utilize the strategy. And you guys can do this if you want to. This is a bit more, it's a bit more, I don't know, I feel like you need a bit more resilience for it, because you hit stop loss a few times, right? You might hit stop loss a few times, but your risk reward, like this is more so focused on the ones that like that risk reward. You might just like, okay, cool, I can go for TP1. You can see that TP1 is getting hit. TP1 is getting hit. And don't get twisted. Sometimes, again, remember, the harmonic will sometimes shift, right? If the harmonic shifts, I'm not complaining. I'm now looking for another entry, right? If the harmonic shift, you might enter the trade, it hits stop loss, the harmonic shift, perfect. Say more, I'm looking for another entry, right? Like, for example, that happened to me on Euro AUD the other day. Guess what? Cool, the stop loss was hit, but the risk reward paid for it. Definitely paid for it, right? But check out, what I like to do is this. So, personally, this is something that I recently been doing. That's why I kind of left it to the end of the call, because there's something that I just recently kind of added. I've just been recently doing. And the reason I started doing it is because I noticed that a lot of the times when I would hit TP1, right, it would actually go to TP3. Like I was seeing most of the trades that I was entering that were hitting TP1, they were going to TP3. So I was like, bro, like, I might as well just start going for TP3. Like, bro, I might as well. Obviously, sometimes it'll come back and you know what I'm saying, it'll mess up the trade or whatever. But I realized that if I'm going for TP3, right? If I'm actually going for TP3, right? What that means is that even if I hit stop loss a few times, the one TP3 makes up for like loads of the stop losses for the most part, right? So now what I'll be doing is this. And again, you can use the TP1 one. I recommend using the TP1 one to start. And you can even maybe come to the same realization. You might even wait to see, oh, you can let us hit TP and see if it's a lot of the time hitting TP3. And you can be like, you know what, actually, it's hitting TP3 a lot. I know some people like to just go for TP2 as well, which you could also do, right? But check this out. In this trade, for example, right, you could do twin trading 100%. I'll be real. Personally, I don't really be twin trading. I do kind of twin trade sometimes, but not in the way that like most people are speaking about. Some just entering 2 trades here. There's a certain style that I like to do that I do twin trade, but I don't do it where entering 2 entries at the same place, right? I just enter 1 entry. If I'm entering another entry, then it's a different kind of entry. But I'm just going for that TP, and I'll just let it flow. Why? Because in my head, and again, this isn't necessarily the right way or the wrong way or whatever, but in my head, it's just that it messes up the maths if I'm taking partial positions early. Just in my head, I'm kind of structured sometimes. So it's like, oh, if it's a 1 to 5 risk reward and I've taken some off, then it's technically not really a 1 to 5 anymore because it's not the same, innit? But anyways, that's just the way that I see it. That's why I don't really do that. But you can definitely do partial position. A lot of people like to do that. And a lot of people, it helps them a lot in their trading. So find out what works for you. But again, all I would do is I'll just hold the TP3, right? Understand that sometimes stop loss will be hit, but when the TP gets hit, and it takes patience. This actually been helping me with my patience because I wasn't really the most patient trader before. And this actually been helping me develop it because I have the confidence that the Harmonic scanner has been consistently hitting TP3s. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it hit. For example, this trade right here, NZD CAD. Let's look at it. NZD CAD, right? Do you mean stop loss to entry? Yes, thank you for asking, right? After TP1 is hit, I'm moving stop loss to entry, right? After TP1 is hit, I'm moving stop loss to entry. That's what I personally do. You might have your own styles and that kind of. Personally, after TP1 is hit, I'm moving stop loss to entry, right? So here, for example, this D was called a roundabout here, right? Let's leave this one. This D was called a roundabout here. I was waiting for the green arrow. Green arrow was formed here. I didn't see at that specific time. Right, I think I saw it around about here. Actually, no, I think I did enter around here. I think I entered at this time. I don't know why it's over there. I think I entered at this time. Right, so I entered at this time, and then the stop loss was how many pips? 7.5. Let's call it 8. TP 1 to 6 risk reward. I just went to TP3. Obviously, you could go to TP1 and you still want to make money off it. But I went to TP3, and even if I hit a few stop losses, I actually hit a couple stop losses after this trade. even though stop loss is cool, because we're still in overall profit from that high risk to reward. If that makes sense to you guys, please just go ahead and drop our numbers. Let's drop a 10. Yeah, we can keep going. We can go to double digits. I drop a 10 in the chat, please. Right? Perfect. So let's go ahead and look at some more examples. I'm going to go through these relatively quickly. Cool. Here's another example. And I understand, by the way, guys, is Euro USD okay to enter now? Let's have a look. No. I'm not saying don't enter it, but based on this specific strategy, it's not valid. Can someone tell me why? Euro USD is not a valid trade to enter right now? Please, let me know. No arrow, exactly. No down arrow, so it's not a valid trade to enter. All right, hopefully that makes sense. All right, boom. So USD CAD. Understand, by the way, guys, if you are using the TP3 method, as I said, I would recommend going for TP1 first. And you know what I'm saying, just refining it and getting like stop loss, like TPs like this and stuff, 1 to 4s and stuff. Those are like the ideal ones. You can still get them sometimes on TP1. But realize that if you are going for TP3, sometimes you'll get stopped out of break even, right? Sometimes you'll get stopped out of break even. Like for example, here, right? If you did go hold to TP3, the risk to reward is 1 to 12 though. Bear that in mind. Right, so if it did go up, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you're nice. Right? But okay, cool. It came out to TP1, it came back down. So if you're the kind of person that closes partials, you might close partials at TP1. Right? If not, you move your stop loss to break even. Yeah, you didn't really, you know what I'm saying? They close that break even. Evidently. Right? Sometimes that will happen. I don't mind. NZD USD. Right? So this is another one that we're in right now. Guess what? TP's down here. So what does that mean? That means that, let's say for example, TP3 gets hit. And the thing is, I don't need a lot of TP3s to get hit. That's the thing. But I kind of observed, and I was like, yo, there's at least a few TP3s that get hit on a week-to-week basis. So I just catch a few of them, even one of them. Like I've made up for any kind of lessons or losses or whatever it is that you want to call it during that week. So as an example, NZD USD, again, you might have closed it at TP1, which again is good. Or if you held it, and if you do hold it and it comes down, guess what? 1 to 9. Right? Another example. Euro JPY. Okay, cool. This one is not. This is not it. Okay, NZD JPY. Where's my markup for this? Where is my markup for this? Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's go ahead and draw on. Boom. Entry. I don't remember where the entry was, but let's say, for example, we entered there. Right? We entered at that level. And this actually gave us a lot of opportunities to get a better entry, I'll be real. Right? Jeez. No worries. Shout outs to your baby. Right? Tell her I said hi. Anyways, right? Check this out. You see how the market, we got a last 1-to-1 or whatever there. So long as I have a 1-to-1 at TP1, I don't mind. That's cool. Now, TP, and obviously the better the risk toward the better. So if I can get a pullback, I'll prefer it. Right? So this is one. This is one trade you could be in. Right? This trade, look, understand this, by the way, guys. Also, let me give you guys some bonus source as well. Right? In case you don't know. If it's like these kind of times, like evening times, obviously depending on your time zone, but these kind of times after the daily candle has just formed, right? Around about 11 p.m. or so, overnight is where I'm looking ideally at New Zealand dollar pairs, Japanese yen pairs, right? Australian dollar pairs, because it's Sydney session, right? London session, ideally I'm looking for pound pairs, euro pairs. That's mainly it. Pound pairs, euro pairs, right? New York session, I'm looking for dollar pairs, Canadian dollar, right? Understand, if I see a setup in another time frame, I'll still enter it, but it's just like, it's extra confirmation if I see it like this. Right? So let's say, for example, it's like 11 p.m. or so. I don't think I'm in this trade yet. I don't think I am. So let's say, for example, I see this, guess what I'm going to do? I'll be real, my stop is going to be like here. I kind of just expanded it a little bit just to, you know what I'm saying, give you guys a little bit more safety. But personally, if I enter this, my stop is like here, right? So if I see, I'm telling you guys exactly what I'll personally be doing. If I personally see the market come down below this level, maybe it's that here or whatever, right? I would just enter. Because I would have been in it, if I saw it here, I would have been in it anyway. So I might as well enter. Using risk management, guys. Make sure you're using risk management. Now it could potentially be like a 1 to 8 or 1 to 10 or something like that. Just for going for TP3. You can go for TP2, go for TP3, you can go for TP1, whatever. You can even get a nice risk tool still by going for TP1, right? Euro AUD, I think I went through that already. JPY, we went through that wasn't valid. GBP USD, that wasn't valid. There are going to be a few trades that aren't valid. Right, that's going to happen. That's fine. Euro NZD. Again, Euro NZD, yeah, you can go for TP1. That's nice. But guess what? My personal TB is TB3. And again, this takes patience because you can get frustrated because sometimes TP3 ain't gonna hit. And you're like, man, I should have taken profit as TP1. So it takes a certain type of psychology to apply this. But and that's why I've been liking it, because it's actually been developed in my trading psychology. Because like I would always be the person to just close it at TP1. But like, yo, you know what? This is pretty lit. Because I was closing at TP1, and as I said, I was just seeing that if I just had a bit more patience, this could have been TP3. This could have been a 1 to 10. Even with TP1 though, it was very consistent. Right, it's very consistent. But understand again, you might like this way, you might prefer the TP1 way. It's perfectly fine. Both of those ways are profitable, right? 1 to 10 is toward on that one. This making sense so far. Again, guys, drop an 11 in the chat. Just want to make sure that everyone's here. And if you guys do have any questions, now is a good time to ask them, because I'm nearly finished the training right now. So if you guys ask your questions right now, any question you have pertaining to the strategy, probably answer most questions during the call. But if you do have any questions, let me know, man. Let's make sure that everyone is understanding everything about the strategy. Here's another example, AUD CAD. What do we see here? And you can see people asking, oh, what times do you enter? You see, look, this was like 6 or so. I'm saying 7. It's not like the morning or whatever, but the setup's there. So if the setup's there, the setup's there. But that's the way I see it. Nice little $5. If you call that pullback, again, I'm not entering here. I'm only entering at the pullback. But I'm just realizing, like, this pullback might not necessarily have been caught. It depends on when TP1 was hit. If TP1 was hit after it came down to here, then cool, I would enter. If it was already hit and then it came down, I wouldn't even enter this. I wouldn't even enter. Even though it did go in the right direction, I wouldn't enter. If TP1 is hit, I'm not entering. All right. AD and ZD. Again, that one wasn't valid. Euro USD, we're looking at that now. By the way, the bigger the TP, like the further the distance to the TP, or let's say, for example, Euro USD comes all the way up, right? It comes all the way up to like here or whatever, right? Guess what? I'm liking that because we're closer to the stop loss, which means that there's less room for error. Down here, there's more. Think of it this way: the stop loss is like the room for error. It's like there's quite a bit of room for error. So I know if I put my stop loss tight, I'm accepting the fact that there is room for it to go up. But there's definitely room for it to go up. I'm accepting it. I don't mind catching the re-entry if I need to. Right, let me check the chat. Shout out to every single person that's still on the call. Yeah, for sure, man. Harmonic is a vibe. Yeah, all the trades that are valid, that meet the things that I said, I'll take them. Like, I don't know if that answers your question. That there's not really a reason why I wouldn't take the trades, unless it doesn't meet one of those things that I said. Can you get it recorded? Maybe. Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up on IG. I'll send it for you. I'll probably send it in the groups as well. I will definitely, if you message me on IG, I'll definitely send it. But I need to upload it to YouTube. I'm not gonna make it a public video probably. I'm probably gonna make it unlisted. But I'll make it public for a few days or something, so you guys can access it. And then just if I send out a link, just save it. Like save the link so that you can access it anytime, because it's gonna be unlisted. Can I look at GBUSD for sure? I've gone through all the examples, so now we're just going through any questions. So definitely ask any questions you have. GBP/USD, this is not valid because look, check it out. The TP1 was already hit over here, right? The up arrow was formed, but TP1 was already hit on that same exact candle, right? And obviously you can go through different brokers and stuff like that. I don't really be using this broker, but I would look at hot forex, right? If I don't see a setup, I'll look at hot forex. See GBP/NZD, what's it saying? It's looking a bit weird right now. So if it's looking funky like this, I'm not really feeling it. But you can see how GBP/NZD wasn't actually on the FX choice. So sometimes the way I choose, it's just if whatever there's a setup on. But as I said, personally, I prefer FX choice, hot forex, and XM.com, right? So yeah, and this literally. So this, if it's looking like this, I'm not entering. However, I would definitely be keeping an eye on this one. I really like GBP pairs because you can see, look how many pips the TP is. Like a nice 60 pips or so. So imagine you've got a nice risk toward, you know what I'm saying? It should be nice, right? It should be very, very nice, right? You really like the Harmonic scanner. Yeah, definitely try it. Definitely try. I didn't like the Harmonic scanner. Not I didn't like it, but I wasn't really vibing with it before the strategy. Someone asked about timeframes as well. Do you use higher timeframes? Yeah, you can. So you can. So let's say, for example, we're on here. But as I said, man, the higher timeframes, you're typically going to get a lower risk toward. So for example, here, Euro AUD. Yo, this looking pretty sweet. I'll be real. Because we had the up arrow there, If we get a pullback, okay, cool. Because understand the higher time frames are actually a stronger confirmation. But with this specific strategy, I've got other strategies that are using the higher time frames. With this specific strategy, it's like, you know what I'm saying, like it gives a bit of a delay. You know what I'm saying? It gives a bit of a delay before the entry. So in this case, when we've got a pullback like this, it can make sense to enter. Right? On the 1 hour time frame, normally I'll go for like TP2 or whatever. But again, if you're going for TP3, you know what I'm saying, a little something nice. But again, I don't enter trade at this time at all. It will have to be like a 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. UK time. So in like an hour. But hopefully that makes sense though. If stop loss hits before an arrow pops up, I wouldn't enter. No, I wouldn't enter. If the Harmonic scanner stop loss is hit, I'm not entering unless it refreshes and gives us a new pattern. If it gives us a new pattern and it's already hit a stop loss before, I will enter. I don't mind. So long as the yeah, better to use on this specific strategy. I would say yeah. However, don't get twisted. If you see on the 1 hour, if I see a setup on the 1 hour and it's got a nice twist toward, it's an even stronger confirmation. But the reason I don't look at it as much is because there's not as many setups coming. You see, look here, for example. Look how long it took for this up arrow to be formed, all the way over here, right? That's, you know what I'm saying? You missed the trade. Look at this, Euro GBP. Okay, cool. You could have caught this here, right? So you are going to catch some. Right? Let's have a look. What's NZD saying? NZD. You see this? You know the NZD USD trade I showed you? See, you still got to quit. You can catch trades on the 1 hour time frame. And I appreciate you guys for making me check the 1 hour time frame because I'm quite liking the trade. I'll probably look at it later. So would you say in any time? Any time frame, anytime. 50-minute, the 50-minute and the 1 hour are the time frames that I'll be looking at. 50-minute mostly though, because there's more setups on there. Less, like lower accuracy on 50-minute, but more setups and you get better entries. Higher accuracy on 1 hour, less setups, and you get worse entries. For the most part, you can still get good entries though. So do you enter after the candle on the top of the arrow closes? Yes. So you're gonna wait for the candle to close. So as an example, the correct entry would have been here after that candle closes. So now we've got an even better entry for this specific one. Right? Any more questions? Let me know. Because if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the chart. Okay, cool. Would you mark up the chart? No. Personally, you don't need to use TradingView. You can if you want, but it's just extra stuff. So me personally, I actually haven't been on TradingView for a while. I'm pretty sure I've got some pro account or something on it right now. I might as well cancel that. Yeah, I think I canceled it already actually. But yeah, I haven't even been using TradingView. Lit. Perfect. I'm not seeing any more questions right now. If you guys do have any more, quickly drop them. But I appreciate every single one of you guys for being on this call. Please utilize this and please let me know. Like, hit me up. My Instagram is @DARealShay. You guys can hit me up. Please share your progress, man. Like, please let me know. I really just love seeing people win. Like, just let me know, man. Just be like, yo, man, I caught this trade. I legit, I want to see it, man. I'd appreciate if you guys do set it through. Would I recommend the high Kanachi candles? Not for this specific strategy. There are other strategies that I do use the high Kanachi with, though, like pivot scanner and stuff. But not for this specific strategy. You don't need to. Where's the EMA? Oh yeah, the EMA. I say no more. Let me show you guys the EMA real quick. This is the bonus thing. The reason I didn't show it on the main trainer is because it's something that I've been testing. And I'm saying it's not really something that I always use. When you pull out, if it goes wrong, I don't. No pull out, gang. Wait, what? I don't pull out if it goes wrong because it's like the only way it can go wrong is if I pull out of the trade too early. You know I'm saying I'm gonna just leave it. So unless the only time when would I pull out early? I'm not, man. I'm not exiting the trade early. There's no point because I've already accepted. Man, when you enter a trade, you're already accepting the risk of the trade, right? You're already accepting the risk of the trade. So if I'm accepting the risk of the trade, if I'm pulling out early, it means that my trading psychology isn't good. It means I probably over leveraged. The only time I pull out early is when I've over leveraged on my account. That's when I pull out early, but you don't want to do that, right? And I haven't done that with this strategy. So let's see. EMA. So this is what I like to do with the EMA. This is a bonus source. You don't have to do this. Again, it's something that I've been testing out. It's not essential. I haven't even been using it too much, just on my chart. I like it. Right? I use a 1000 EMA. I'm not going to get into this too much in detail, right? But this is going to be, I'm going to make this black and I make it opacity 100%. And on top of that, I change this to thicker, right? Around about this thick. So the EMA basically tells you on average if you're looking for sells or buys, right? Have a look. You can see that when we're above, like, bear in mind, I haven't even looked at this. When we're above the EMA, for the most part, we're buying. For the most part, the market's going up, right? Buys. Look, the market hit the EMA, it came back up. The market hit the EMA, it came back up. The market hit the EMA, it came back up. When we break through, a lot of the times, if you break through properly, like a solid break, a lot of the time you start to go down. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but a lot of the time it does cause a massive shift in the market. So it's come down, you know what I'm saying? This time it didn't really happen. But you see it broke back up, continue to go up. Right? Look what happened when it broke down, continue to go down. So the philosophy that I kind of utilized with the EMA, you can see here as well. Oh, dude, this was a student. Why is this still there? This was ages ago. That was 1 to 8, man. But anyways, look at this, right? You can see that, let's say, for example, the market is above the EMA line, it's just an extra confirmation. So especially if it's on the EMA line, it's a bonus confirmation for that confirmation trade. But as I said, I haven't really been using it too much because I realized that the reason I put it on there was I was kind of trying to see where, like, if it can help knowing when to go for TP3 or not, right? So I was kind of thinking, okay, cool. If the market is above the EMA and it's a buy, then it's going to be extra confirmation for TP3. But what I realized later on is that the Harmonic scanner is too saucy. It doesn't even need that. It still goes for TP3 anyway, right? It still goes for TP3 anyway. So I wouldn't really recommend using it, I'll be real. It's kind of just there on my chart. Sometimes I do use it, but it's not that deep, man. It's not that deep. So hopefully that does make sense for you guys. Let's elevate, let's run it up, and let's smash it out, man. If anyone wants to keep me updated on the trades, please go ahead and do so. Keep me updated on the success. If anyone has any questions, but also feel free to reach out directly. I'll definitely be willing to answer questions. If I take long to reply, just message me again because my replies on Instagram are not the best. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys soon. Appreciate you guys for plugging in. Appreciate you guys for being on here for the past hour and a half, man. You guys are legends, man. Absolutely, man. But as I said, I'm gonna catch you guys soon. My name is Shay, and let's elevate, man. Shout out to the whole Traders Empire family.